Good evening or good afternoon. I don't think morning, but good evening and good afternoon to all those who are joining with us today. It's great to have you on another one of our Ostomy Canada Society national webinars. And today we're going to be talking about the root cause of leakages and skin breakdown, the science behind FLOWASSIST. My name's Troy, and I'm a director on our board here at Ostomy Canada Society, and I'm really glad you could be joining with us tonight. Before we get started, I just want to take a moment quickly to thank Best Buy Medical for sponsoring this session. We really appreciate their partnership, and they play a big role in helping people living with an ostomy all across Canada, from making quality ostomy products easier to access, providing great advice and service, and supporting people to live more comfortably and confidently every day. And we can definitely align ourselves with that mission. So we really appreciate them making today possible. And I'm also really pleased to introduce our guest speaker today, Dr. Kevin Kelleher. He's the CEO and co-founder of Ostoform and holds a PhD in biomedical engineering with more than 15 years of experience in medical device innovation. He's passionate about creating solutions that truly make a difference in the lives of people living with an ostomy. And tonight he's going to be walking us through Ostoform's FlowAssist technology and explaining how it helps reduce adhesive breakdowns and skin irritation, two of the biggest challenges many people experience. And I know that's true from our past webinars. It's a big topic, so we're really excited about that today. Before we dive into the presentation, I wanted to mention to everyone that we are recording today's session. So if you want to watch it later, if you want to share it with friends and family, or if you know someone who maybe couldn't come on live today but might want to watch it after the fact, it is going to be available on our ostomycanada.ca website. I believe Best Buy Medical is going to make it available on their site as well, or their YouTube channel. We're also going to be doing a Q&A session today at the end. So thank you for anyone who's submitted questions ahead of time. A lot of those questions are going to be answered throughout this presentation, but keep adding your questions in using that Q&A box in your toolbar there, and we'll categorize and try to collate them as best as possible to make the Q&A period as efficient and great as possible. So once again, thanks for being here, and a special thank you to Best Buy again. I'm going to pass over the slides and the presentation to Dr. Kelleher. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks very much, Troy. And thanks very much. I really am honored to have the opportunity to share the Ostoform story with you all today. Thanks very much to Ostomy Canada for having us, and also to Best Buy for working with us and getting us here. So I'm going to start with maybe a little bit of background on where we've come from, the reason that we've come up with this product, this new idea, and a little bit of the evidence and stories around how this has helped people both in North America, in Canada, and the US, and in Europe. We're an Irish company. I'm speaking with you today from Ireland. So, Troy, I think I can say good morning because it's 1 a.m. here. So I'll say that. And
I didn't mean to exclude you. Thanks for making the time. I know it's early in the morning for you. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'll just start by saying that our products are made available through our partnership with Best Buy in Canada. So we've been working with Best Buy for quite a few months now, and are seeing our products on the Canadian market, which is really exciting to see. And then I'll go straight into our presentation and the reason behind why we set this up. So to start with, moisture-associated skin damage poses a significant challenge for ostomates due to the exposure to corrosive stoma output, often stemming from appliance leakage and poor fit. This is a quote from a publication from Gray et al., which really captures skin complications in ostomy as a result of leakage. And this was the area that we started with. And to give some more background on that, my background is biomedical engineer. I did a master's in technology entrepreneurship, and had the opportunity to work in industry in a medical device company for quite a few years, and then did an accelerator program, so a kind of a startup incubator program for medical device companies. And through this incubator, I was lucky to get access to hospitals and hospital systems and understand different medical needs and clinical needs, and particularly in the area of gastroenterology. And in that space, the thing that kept coming up was the area of skin complications in ostomy. And going through the process of really understanding these skin complications, one of the first things that was was jumping out was the incidence of skin complications. So they're very, very common. Most people with a stoma have suffered from skin complications at some point or are at risk of leaks. And then the need within the need that came up for me in this was that a lot of the time what's used to protect the skin around the stoma is a barrier ring or an ostomy ring. And these rings, they're made with a material called hydrocolloid, an adhesive material, and because they are absorbent, and so they should be, the role is to absorb the output from the ostomy. So they absorb the output from the ostomy, but when they do, just like with a band-aid that gets wet, when they absorb the output from the ostomy, they begin to break down. And when they begin to break down and absorb that corrosive output in towards the skin, that's when these skin complications begin, and that's this vicious cycle of sticking the adhesive pouch or the barrier ring onto this broken, damaged skin, which can be painful, which can mean that there's more of a risk of it leaking or falling off. So it really does impact quite a few areas, as I'm sure you know of daily life. And to zoom in on this a little bit more, um, what I'm saying here is because of the adhesive breakdown, um, there's a resulting leakage, there's a disruption to quality of life, and of course there's the increased cost of care for the individual, which is something we focus on in Ostoform to show that there are potential cost savings through our products. So we in Ostoform, seeing all that, what we decided to do is introduce a non-absorbent component, which we call FLOWASSIST. So this is a flexible polymer material that sits on the inside of the barrier ring to prevent the hydrocolloid adhesive from absorbing the corrosive stoma output so that the output is not absorbed by the hydrocolloid adhesive, which means that the hydrocolloid does not break down, which means it lasts for longer and can protect the skin for longer. And along with this inner non-absorbent ring, we've introduced a spout to make sure that the output is directed away from the skin and into the ostomy pouch. So this FlowAssist technology, this is our first product in our FlowAssist seal. It's a patented technology and part of what is now our product range coming soon. So we've started with our FlowAssist seal and we've recently incorporated the same technology into a two-piece pouch. And we also have another barrier called the crest, which is kind of a C-shaped barrier ring with tapered ends to help fit those irregular shaped stomas and in some cases to give some pressure to specific areas for the peristomal area. So we demonstrated this first through simulated use testing just to show a standard barrier ring versus the FlowAssist barrier ring, and we've got liquid flowing through a stoma, and you can see over time for the standard barrier ring, the adhesive begins to break down because it's absorbing and corroding or eroding, and for the FlowAssist seal, you can see that over time, FlowAssist directs the flow away from the hydrocolloid adhesive, which means that the adhesive does not break down and last for longer. So it's quite apparent to see how it works through these images. Um, Coming back to the story of Ostoform and where we started, we're a startup and we needed to, in our first instance, try to raise some funds to get this to the next stage. And we did that by gathering some clinical data. So we conducted a number of clinical studies, which I'll talk through in some detail here. In the first study, we had 5 people with an ileostomy who wore our FlowAssist seal for 2 weeks, and we assessed their skin condition using a standardized and validated ostomy skin tool as a tool for assessing skin condition. And participants rated the novel seal, the FlowAssist seal, for comfort, security, and handling. And you can see that whilst it was only 5 people who tried ileostomy, people who tried the product, you can see that there was an improvement in their skin condition over the first 2 weeks. So this was a good start. And from there, we did a larger clinical study, in this case with 12 ileostomates who wore the seal for 6 weeks. And again, skin condition was measured using the ostomy skin tool. And over that 6-week period, we saw a 45% improvement in skin condition. So we saw a statistically significant improvement in skin condition, going from an average the DET, or the ostomy skin tool, measures skin condition in three areas: in discoloration, erosion, and tissue overgrowth. So they call it a DET score, which goes from 0 to 15. And in this study, we started with a average DET score of 6.2, reduced to 3.1. So a statistically significant reduction in skin complication levels. Along with that, each of the participants scored very highly for comfort, security, handling, and discretion, all with an average of around 9 to 10. We've done two additional clinical studies that I'll mention here. 20 ileostomates wearing the seal for 4 weeks. And in this study, 14 of whom had been using a seal prior to the study. And of those, 71% said that the new seal, the FLOWASSIST seal, lasted longer than their standard seal. So we were gathering data along with data around skin condition. We're also gathering data around longer wear time and how, through FLOWASSIST preventing adhesive breakdown, the hydrocolloid can last for longer. So you can see again in this third study, we showed a reduction in skin complication over 4 weeks on average. And again, we had very positive user ratings for easy to put on, comfortable, and effective in protecting the skin, scoring on a 0 to 5 scale. A fourth clinical study, 19 participants, all with an ileostomy for more than three months, and skin condition was measured in the same way in an ostomy skin tool. And in this study, so of the 19 participants, again, we saw a statistically significant improvement in skin condition from when they started to use the FLOWASSIST seal, with a 42% improvement in skin condition on average across all of the participants. And I've broken down the participants from 1 to 19 at the bottom, so you can see in some cases skin was in quite bad condition, scoring a 5 or a 4 or a 6. And you can see that through the use of the FLOWASSIST seal, we managed to get that score down to 0. And I should say, all of these studies were conducted in facilities in hospitals across the Republic of Ireland, and all of these studies were conducted in the data gathered by independent nurses. So the first part of the conclusion in this is that we saw through these studies that FLOWASSIST can protect hydrocolloid adhesive integrity, so it can protect from adhesive breakdown. FLOWASSIST can last longer than other seals, and FLOWASSIST can provide enhanced skin protection and prevent skin complications. So we've taken this data, and this next piece is more health economics or cost saving. But what we've learned from this data, we've worked with a group in Germany called the Fraunhofer Institute, who have a very well established health economics research group, and they've written a white paper on the cost saving potential of FLOWASSIST. And because the FLOWASSIST the seal can last longer than other seals or can offer longer wear time, they've concluded that FLOWASSIST has the potential to save £10 million per year in the UK. And then we've additional case studies done where participants, they were suffering from leaks and very frequent leaks, and then by introducing FLOWASSIST, they were able to change their bag less often. And by changing their bag less often, it meant that there was significant cost savings as well as everything else, as well as the less hassle for the individual. And so with those cost savings, there's potential in the UK alone to save on average about £10 million per year. So what they say is, on average, a tripling in the use of ostomy products is to be expected with leakage. Thus, by using assisted flow with the appropriate target group, an extension of the wear time can be achieved, which goes hand in hand with lower material consumption. So lower material consumption through extended wear time means a reduction in overall costs. And that's a summary of our clinical studies and our cost saving or health economic data. I wanted to move from there to some more maybe real world images or photographs on what can happen. And this goes back to the studies or case studies that were conducted in Liverpool, in a hospital in Liverpool in the UK. So you can see here at the beginning, before introduction of FLOWASSIST, you can see skin was very much red raw. And after 1 week, there was a significant improvement in skin condition. And just to look at the quote down the bottom, before using the FLOWASSIST seal, my stoma bag would not stop leaking. My skin was very sore. After using the product, my stoma bags stopped leaking, and I was able to go home from hospital and manage the stoma bag myself. So it's an example of a patient being able to manage this independently. And a second study where again FLOWASSIST was used, and you can see the skin again was red raw, and the os, or the opening of the stoma, was pointing right onto the skin. The patient says, "This product stopped my leakage. I found it make a big difference through the efforts of Leanne and team." That's the stoma nurse, Leanne Fielding. "This got me home feeling confident about my situation." One more, again, you can see before and after images of the skin being very, very raw around the stoma, and how introduction of FLOWASSIST was able to extend the pouch wear time from 8 hours to 24 hours. So this individual was changing their appliance 3 times per day and was able to get that down to once per day by introducing FLOWASSIST. Just some additional feedback from Ostomates that I thought I'd share. Just some of the experiences we've had. We've been around in Ostoform for a number of years now, and I think one of the main motivators for us is when we hear the feedback and we get to share that around the team and the impact that can have. We say in Ostoform, our mission is to set the new standard in stoma care through an unrelenting desire to deliver empowering breakthrough solutions. And we do hear on a weekly basis how our solutions are empowering people and helping them live the life that they want to live. So some of the quotes, I won't read through them all, but I was having leakage multiple times a day, sometimes even every 15 minutes. I can now get 5 to 7 days wear time using the FLOWASSIST seal. And Pamela, "This product has changed my life. I don't say that lightly. Prior to finding the seal, there were times I had changed a bag up to 10 times in a day. With your seal, I'm happy to get an entire week's wear without any leakage." So you can see that there are people who are really experiencing longer wear time and having to change much less often. Ostoform is the only new game changer in the ostomy care in recent memory, and that's one of the things we hear quite a bit, that it's an area where there hasn't been a huge amount of innovation, and we're really delighted to offer something new to the market and a new option for people and for healthcare professionals. I won't read through them all, but I think you can see them here. Maybe one more from a nurse. "I just want to let you know that the Ostoform has been a game changer for every patient I've tried it on. I keep it in stock at the hospital now. I've shared your product with our local WC community because I've been so impressed by the outcomes." So we've been lucky to see other people, and this is the person in the UK who discovered the FLOWASSIST seal, and we did a series of interviews partnering with Double Bag in it, and I thought I might share them here just so you could hear another person's immediate feedback on the FLOWASSIST seal. So I'll try to play this now, and hopefully it works.
Yeah, but with the Ostoform, when I tried a sample of that for the first time, I wasn't really expecting too much, because, as with anything, you try something and you always kind of think like, oh, is it going to work? Is it not going to work? But I remember just like noticing that usually when I use a regular seal, after maybe a day or two, I start to get that itch, that kind of, like, you know that the seal is kind of breaking down and things are starting to come out from the bag around the skin. And it was really weird when I tried the Ostoform, like, it had been maybe 2 or 3 days and I wasn't feeling that itch. And I was like, that's really weird. I'm not feeling like I need to change my bag, which was obviously an amazing feeling, but I just couldn't believe it because in my head kept saying to me, I should change my bag. I should change my bag. But I was like, but I don't feel like I need to because it feels fine.
And I don't seem to be able to keep moving through. So I have to go back in, sorry.
No problem.
Share again.
All right, perfect. We can see it now. And you might just need to, it's just staying in full screen for you?
Oh. So maybe I didn't share with sound.
No, we heard the video
Yeah.
great from the YouTube. I just wonder if oh, you mean for the videos afterwards? No problem.
Oh, did I share?
You were sharing there. We saw the original video with the video that was just talking about Ostoform there. If it wasn't letting you advance, we might just need to minimize the full screen within the YouTube, rather than pressing escape, for example, and it might allow you to advance.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, let me share again. Apologies.
No problem.
How long had you had your stoma before you were introduced to the FLOWASSIST seal? Was it?
Perfect.
I think maybe a year. I think it'd been a year. And I just remember that, yeah, usually my regular changing time was kind of every.
How long had you had your stoma before you were introduced to?
Regular changing time was kind of every day or max every other day. I would never be able to go longer than that without having to change my stoma bag at all. And when I see people saying they were able to wear their bag for so many days, I was like so envious. So I didn't understand how they were doing that. And then obviously now using the Ostoform, I tell people all the time, I'm like, oh my God, like, you have to try this product because genuinely it's just changed my life. Whenever I wear it, I don't have a leak unless I'm literally in bed all night and I don't wake up, don't go to the toilet. But if I'm just out and about in the daytime, touch wood, since using the Ostoform, not one leak when I've been out.
How long had you
okay. It seems I need to come out of it here, so I'll just skip to the next slide and share again. And here we go.
Sounds good. No problem.
No. I have to bring it back up. Okay, I'm back. So there was one other piece around Stoma Babe where she talked about the the products that she used whilst running the London Marathon, and she's since ran the London Marathon with the FLOWASSIST seal, which we're really pumped and chuffed about, and I think it's a great story. So I mainly talked about the FLOWASSIST seal up to this point, but we also have coming soon the same FLOWASSIST technology. So the same FLOWASSIST technology which prevents adhesive breakdown, prevents this hydrocolloid breakdown around the adhesive part of the ostomy pouch, in this case a two-piece pouch, so on the base plate. And this product is coming very soon. It's just coming to market in a number of countries, and we expect it to be in Canada soon as well. So I wanted to share some information on this. You can see in more detail again the FLOWASSIST technology with the spout is the first part. We also have these flexion, or what we call radial grooves, to enable flexion around abdominal contours, and it's just a way for it to feel more seamless for the wearer. And then we've standard other features like a floating flange and protective films. For our drainable or our ileostomy pouch, we have some additional features around the usability for draining, including this tab that makes it much easier to open the pouch to drain it. And of course, it's got this woven gray fabric, which is a water repellent fabric, which is a nice feature for keeping it dry. Three pouch types. We have a closed pouch, generally for colostomy, an ileostomy or drainable, and a urostomy pouch. So yeah, I've covered this, and from there, I've got some links at the end to our various clinical studies that I've spoken through, and some additional information, which again, you've seen some of the Stoma Babe, Let's Talk IBD. And from here, I'll just thank you again for the opportunity to present and share our story in Ostoform. And I'm happy to try to answer any questions you may have.
Absolutely. Well, I know, I think you mentioned it here at the end, but a couple people were asking, have you primarily seen benefits for those with an ileostomy? Do you see just as much of a benefit for those with a colostomy as well?
Generally, whether it's ileostomy or a colostomy, generally because it's there to help the flow, we find it most impactful for people who have fluidic output. So be it urostomy, ileostomy, sometimes it's a colostomy, but one with fluidic output. But generally that's the main benefit of our technology, is those who have liquid or fluidic output.
Fair enough. Well, thanks for touching on that. We had another question about, and you mentioned it here at the end as well. Does or can you just expand, I guess, does FLOWASSIST take the place of a convex base plate, or would it be used together with one?
We have known it always depends on the case. So some of these things do depend on the individual, and no two stomas are the same. We have heard of situations where the FLOWASSIST seal has been used with a flat base plate, while previously the individual was on a convex appliance. So yes, it has been used as an alternative. We also know that it can be used with convex, and it can be used with, generally the FLOWASSIST seal can be used with any pouch, two-piece or one-piece, and it can be used with convex or flat just as easily.
Perfect. And I know at the beginning you were showing us some of its benefits, of course. Have you seen that FLOWASSIST specifically helps prevent granulomas forming around the edge of the stoma as well?
We've seen it's always hard to say it prevents, because you can't say for sure that it wouldn't have happened. We have seen it help to reduce granulomas. So where they're forming around the edge, and especially maybe in an area where the Oz is pointing directly and emptying onto the skin, and then FLOWASSIST is introduced, and we've been able to reduce the formation of some of those granulomas and the tissue overgrowth or the erosion in that area to help get the skin under control. Yes.
Perfect. And for someone with a prolapse stoma, do you see that Ostoform could be helpful in that case as well, or have you done studies with prolapse stomas?
We don't have any studies done with prolapse stomas, and all I could say on that is that it's a case where you could potentially try it. We don't have any individual case studies done on it. Yeah, I'm hesitant to say any specifics on it, because again, for any one case, it might be down to the individual. But I haven't seen the stoma, but I'd say it's worth trying.
Fair enough. And kind of on that note, I guess we had some questions from clinicians as well who were asking about whether there is training or education available either online or maybe through an affiliate here in Canada about Ostoform, how to learn more, how to apply, what use cases, etc. Is there anything you could share with the group here?
Yeah, definitely. For clinicians, we have what we call a clinical evidence booklet that has a kind of a summary of all of our clinical studies and our case studies. We also have some of that information on our website and some videos on how to use on our website. And then along with that, we can offer training, for any healthcare professional who wants additional information, we can offer training, or we can offer training in partnership with Best Buy, who also have people
Mhm.
on the ground who we work closely with.
And on that note, and maybe I'm not sure if Sophie or Anthony in the background wanted to mention this, is FlowAssist, or maybe you're able to as well, Dr. Kelleher, is FlowAssist only available through Best Buy in Canada?
I'll leave that over to maybe Best Buy to answer if you want to say, I think, because there are a number of channels that it goes through.
I think we are the exclusive importer, but that you can find the product in different pharmacies next to your home.
Okay, thank you, Sophie. We had another question. I know we mentioned about whether it would be used in the place of a convex base plate. Someone was asking, would it be used along with a barrier ring as well, or does it take the place of a barrier ring?
The FLOWASSIST seal takes the place of a barrier ring. So it is a barrier ring. It's just a barrier ring with an extra feature on it. That feature is to prevent the adhesive breakdown and direct the flow into the pouch. So it would be as an alternative to a barrier ring. And then for our pouch, which is coming soon, we have known cases of people using our FLOWASSIST barrier ring or our FLOWASSIST seal with the FLOWASSIST pouch, because you can actually have the two of them work together.
And this is an interesting case here from Tiffany, who's asking, their stoma points to the left, so they always get a raw spot on the right side of the stoma. Can FlowAssist be placed slightly to the right instead of in the middle? Do you see cases where it's angling one way or the other?
Yes, we do. I think a lot of the images we showed with the spout at 6 o'clock, but it doesn't have to be at 6 o'clock. It can be turned, to whichever way. Generally the advice would be wherever the output is landing or pointing onto the skin, wherever the stoma or the Oz opening is, that's a good place to have the base of the spout. And then to remember that the non-absorbent piece does go up along the sides as well. So it's not only at the base, it does go up to protect the sides as well. But generally, yes, you can rotate it to the position of opening of the stoma.
Fantastic. That's great to hear. And we had just a quick question here. Does Ostoform does it have any latex in the product?
There's no latex in the product, no.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay, that's great to hear. We had a couple questions. This is going back to the beginning again, some of the root causes of MASD and some different other skin conditions. So a lot of people are saying here that they often have a leakage around the edge of their flange within about 24 hours of applying that. Is that typical? We know, of course, from some of our testimonials I've been seeing here that Ostoform can definitely help with that. But are you seeing that for most people you're studying that it is within that 24 hours, there is going to be some sort of leakage? Would you recommend that that isn't normal, that we should be able to make sure that we can contain that? What are your sort of thoughts on this common issue that does come up quite often?
Yeah, I like to think that there is a solution out there that should not be what people have to experience every day, that there should be a way to prevent that. And I think that's where all of this started for us. We started out by trying to prevent these skin complications, which really come from this type of leakage. So yeah, I like to think that should not be what's happening, and we try our best with our products to offer a solution to that. So
Yeah, well, thanks for covering that. And I think, again, we've got so many people who are just sharing that experience. So it's great to see the amount of fantastic testimonials we've been getting. Again, even just the video testimonials, I think were fantastic too. One person's asking, I think I understand the question here, but is there any possibility of FlowAssist puncturing or damaging the ostomy bag itself? Have you ever heard of that? Is that something just to dissuade if there is any concern about that?
We've never heard of that, and probably because in the images it might look like a rigid or a hard plastic, but it's a very soft, flexible plastic. So we've never heard of a case of it doing any damage to the film or the fabric or the bag itself, because it is so soft and much softer than maybe it looks in some of the images.
Absolutely. Do you mind if I just ask you as well? Could you bring up that last slide again? I think it was the for Stoma Babe and some of the just for those who might want to look them up on Instagram or something after too. I
Oh
think
yeah.
it's always great when we can see some great ambassadors and some fun people to follow on social media. I know I follow quite a few people, some influencers and things like that, but it might be nice for those who might not have had a chance to take a look yet.
Just sharing it here. I think this is the
Awesome.
slide you mean? Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah, we'll just keep that up for just a second here. And then for those, if we do have any clinicians on the line with us too, that there is that clinical evidence book that you were talking about on the website too. I'm just going to open it up again. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to put them into the Q&A box there. I'm happy to get to a couple more. This person here is asking, does the Flow Assist come in different sizes to cover wider or more circumference for different stoma sizes?
It does, yeah. We have three sizes. We call them small, medium, and large. And then we have a product called the Crest, which is something that it's kind of like a C-shaped piece of hydrocolloid. So for like extra large stomas or very oval or unusually shaped stomas, we introduced the Crest as a way to maybe close the gap so that it's possible to have a fully closed loop. So yes, we have lots of options for different sizes and shapes.
That's fantastic. Okay, that's good to hear. I'm trying to see if we've got any other questions in our back pocket here. Overall, I think it's been fantastic too. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the webinar, everyone, if you do know of someone who would like to learn a little bit more about this, maybe it's someone in your family, or maybe you're on the line on behalf of someone in your family who's living with an ostomy, we will be having this video available on our ostomycanada.ca website. As I mentioned before, I think Best Buy will be able to put it up as well, either on their site or on YouTube. So we will have that available for you after the fact as well. I'll leave it open for a couple more seconds here, just in case we got any other questions. Does this product work for a flush stoma or stoma that doesn't protrude very far?
It does, yeah. I think flush stomas are one of those challenging cases. And
Mm.
again, I come back to one of the real benefits of Flow Assist is that it's taking the output that's emptying onto the skin, but preventing it from being absorbed in towards the skin and directing it into the pouch. So be it flush or slightly protruding in either case, that's a good time to introduce Flow Assist to prevent it from leaking or pour coming out onto the skin. And for us, it's a prevention first. We always take that approach. Why wait for the problem to start when you can prevent it from the beginning? So, for us, Flow Assist is about preventing that moisture-associated skin damage or MASD or skin complications by using it from the start. By using it so that the problem doesn't emerge in the first instance.
Absolutely, which is a great way of approaching it for sure. And this person was asking whether it works well with pre-cut flanges.
It does just as well with pre-cut flanges in that the size is established. We have three sizes of seal, and depending on the size that you need, it can fit, it can flex. It's a very moldable seal. And maybe on that, one of the things that some people like to do, rather than putting the seal directly onto the skin first and then putting the pouch on over it, some people like to put the seal into the pouch and connect the whole thing together so they've got one system, and then they're just putting one thing onto the skin. And just when you mentioned pre-cut, that might be a way for some people, pre-cut or not, that might be another way to put it on that's well received in many cases.
Absolutely. And we had a question about cost, and I wonder if Sophie, maybe if you wanted to address this. I'm sure the cost will vary from province to province or where you might source it. I'm not sure if Sophie, you might want to address that, or if that's something you want to talk about through Best Buy.
I don't have the reply now, so I think we need to see what we can do. Yes, depending on the provinces and the retailers and everything. So
maybe we can, for those who are wondering about that, so we recommend reaching out to Best Buy as well.
yes,
I'm sure
yes.
that's a great, yeah. And that way, I'm sure we can get you in touch too and find the best option for you to
Yes.
test it out or to purchase for sure.
Or maybe the best option is that the people ask directly to their retailer to have some information about the price and availability. Maybe it will be the best thing to do.
Perfect. Thank you, Sophie.
Thank you.
Alrighty. I'll leave it open for a couple more seconds here. I know we keep getting a couple questions coming in. What I'll also mention is this webinar has been so fantastic because yes, you get all this fantastic product knowledge. I think it's going to be a great thing to mention here that we have complimentary webinars in the past that did address on the medical side some of the skin, peristomal skin complications from our NSWAC point of view too. So for those who might be experiencing quite a bit of peristomal skin issues, you want to learn a little bit more about leaking outside of maybe just the device itself, and you want to learn more about why is my skin reacting, what are some other solutions in addition to product knowledge, we recommend you checking out our ostomycanada.ca website too. You can take a look at those. And again, it just brings you a bit more information that if you want to go talk to your NSWAC and maybe recommend, hey, look, I want to try out FLOWASSIST, for example, you'll get some of that background information too. Another question that came up here. Does the additional spout cause the pouch to stick out further than normal? I'm not sure if that was a spout or the actual tab itself, but wondering if you can answer that question.
Yeah, I can. So we've worked a lot on this to try to find the perfect balance between having a protruding spout and having a spout that's visibly protruding. And I think we've reached the right balance in that it's there and it's just does enough to keep the pouch. And this isn't really something I talked about, but one of the things that is important for getting the output to flow into the pouch is for the two sides of the pouch to be slightly open. And so the spout being there kind of keeps the two sides of the spout from being completely closed where there's nowhere for the output to flow, to being just slightly open and open just enough for it to flow in. And so we've asked in our clinical studies, there's a lot in asking people to rate for discretion, and it was also always scored very high, and you know we deem it to be very, very discreet. But at the same time, the spout is there just to do enough to enable the output to flow into the pouch.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, thanks for addressing that. One thing too, if you don't mind just covering it again, someone's asking once more, is it a good fit if you have an oval stoma?
Yes, there are options for oval stomas. I think maybe what I'll do there is I'll try to go back a number of slides to, if I can, to the very start of this and just share very quickly the options for oval stomas, because there's a few other options that maybe are easier to explain with a slide. So if you see here, when I show our products, and for oval stomas, the arms could be of the FLOWASSIST seal could be open a lot, and one way to close the loop is to introduce the crest. So the crest is one of these products that can help wrap around the other side if it's a very large oval stoma to close the loop to make sure that it's fully sealed and there's a 360-degree seal. But again, the FLOWASSIST seal comes in 3 sizes: small, medium, and large, and is very moldable and very flexible. But if it's not enough, if there's another size or another shape required, it can be used along with the crest to fully close the loop.
Yeah, it's really ingenious. That's fantastic. I think it's great to show the visual to bring us back to it. Yeah, thank you. All right, I'm gonna keep it open a couple more minutes. If you have any other questions, this is a great time. Not that we're trying to keep Dr. Kelleher up till 2 a.m. quite, but I know it's getting close to that hour, and so appreciate you again taking the time to make it available for us. Of course, it's so fantastic to have this introduced a little bit more. I know not everyone is aware of Ostoform or FLOWASSIST in general, so it's great to hear from you. And I'll check one more time here. Alrighty, well, with that, I think that's a fantastic place to kind of bring us to a close here. Again, I know I just thanked you once, I'll thank you one more time. And again, to Best Buy Medical, it's great to have a partner like Best Buy to be able to bring not only this education, but to be supporting us every day across Canada too. So we really appreciate them sharing their expertise and supporting our education too. So we really, really thank everyone who's been on the call. For those who don't know, we always have a team of volunteers behind the scenes to help with our webinar series. So Yasser included, who was playing the video earlier on today and helps with our Q&A and moderation. So we thank our Ostomy Canada volunteers who helped make that possible and help build the video earlier on. So we don't always get a chance to thank you during the webinars, but we do thank them quite a bit. With that said, I'll mention that we do have some more webinars coming up, including tomorrow. We're going to be doing a similar webinar to today, but we're in French. So if you are, if you're Francophone, if you have someone in your family or a friend who would prefer listening to the webinar in French, we will have that available too. We have Geneviève on the line with us right now, who's going to help out with the webinar tomorrow too. So please share that with your colleagues or your friends who you think would be interested in watching that. But otherwise, stay tuned on our website for more upcoming webinars too. It'll be in 2026, our next series of national webinars. So Dr. Kelleher, we'll give you back your extra time here so you can get to bed now. And we hope to see you again in the future at some point.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
Thank you very
everyone.
much.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.